The other thing before we go into the Scotland squad, Mick, we did the Record Celtic podcast earlier on today. It's out there if you want to have a listen. You mentioned that it's your understand perhaps Jens Berthel Askou would be interested in the Celtic job if he was asked for talks in the summer.
I don't think there's any perhaps about it. I think he would be. What I've been told, people around about him, that he would very much be interested in the Celtic job. And why would he not be? Let's be honest. He's been good. He's been good. He's asked about it a few times, and he's been quite cute about it. Rightly so. He's got a job to do at Motherwell. He's done a great job. And I understand why they'd be interested. And I understand Celtic. I mean, he is a person of interest at Celtic. And I understand he would be receptive if that call came. He'd be jogging up the M74. I have no doubt about it. But there's a lot to happen before then. Celtic are kind of a bit of a rejig behind the scenes. From what I gather, that's kind of underway. Obviously, the title race is taking the kind of focus right now, but they are looking to kind of have a bit of a shuffle behind the scenes. They need it. Obviously, they need a new recruitment chief, need a new chairman, need a new manager, probably going to need 15 new players. Yeah, so there is work to be done at Celtic. They can't hang about. It's now March. I mean, let's say a lot of work being done in this squad for next season. I know there's a big focus this season. It could be it's going to be a brilliant finale no matter what happens. But regardless if Celtic win the trophies or not, they'll get a massive amount of work to do in the summer, and they can't afford to hang about. They can't be sitting in August trying to sign 12 new players that they have done before. So it'll be interesting.
Mick completely agree and said something similar the other week. If Celtic are doing their work right, then they've already identified the guy that they want. They've already agreed a deal with the guy that they want. And the guy that they want should be drawing up a list of targets of guys that he wants for Celtic to start going out and laying the foundations of getting deals done right at the start of the window, as early as possible, so that there's a new manager in town. He's identified a bunch of new players that he feels are going to increase the general standard. All these things have to be happening now. I just wonder, with this Celtic in this sort of a current state, I doubt very much that that's where they are right now. I kind of feel as if the whole thing's up in the air. Thankfully, Martin O'Neill has stepped into the breach here, and we'll just kick the can down the road and deal with it in the summer. See where the cards lie. But if they're doing their work properly and professionally, these conversations have to be taking place right now ahead of the summer.
No, I totally agree, and I think it is a bit of limbo right now. I mean, it can't be done. We saw it with Ange Postecoglou came in. There's a lot of work required after that. That was after the COVID season, 9 in a row, failed 10 in a row season, and he had 2 weeks in quarantine in June. Remember the COVID years? Remember the whole the spine? Oh, so I didn't even mention it. You got a shudder. He sat in his hotel room in quarantine and went through. I mean, Celtic had an extensive kind of list of scouting targets, and I think he read every single file. I think it was over 200 files, and the staff can see when it's been read. And he read the whole lot, and it turned out that a lot of the guys that he knew. I mean, I think Kyogo was on that list. You'd obviously other guys like kind of your Jotas and Carter Vickers and Carl Starfelt. Joe Hart was a slightly different one. But he had 2 weeks to sit there, and then obviously had his own links with a certain agency as well that he could lean on. So he came in with an idea what he wanted, and he did bring in a lot of players quite quickly. In that first summer, he brought in a rake of players relatively quickly. It wasn't as quick as some people make it out. I mean, there's a lot of misty-eyed Celtic fans go, "Oh, that season with Dom McKay, you know how to do a job and all, you know how to do a deal." We're like, no. Listen, Carter Vickers and Jota, and these guys came in the last day of the window. Right on deadline day, but Kyogo, Starfelt, Hart, Abada, all these guys came in sharpish, and that's what's going to be required. So it can be done quickly if you're mind to. But the main thing they need is the manager, because I don't think they can rely on keeping Martin O'Neill around next season as well. I know it's a nice idea for some people, but give Martin a break for goodness sake. The poor man's earned his money this year, so let him put his feet up.
Well, David in the comments says, if Martin wins the league, he gets a 2-year deal. Put your money on it, Keith. So there you go. No, you're not a betting man, though, Keith.
No. And when I do try and become a betting man, as I did for the horses at Cheltenham last week, it really ends well. It just disappoints me. Martin O'Neill has been incredible, and he has been Celtic's absolute safety net this season. And it's what he's managed to achieve with a squad which is fundamentally needing a complete rebuild, almost a complete rebuild, and yet he's keeping them winning games. I talked about this last night, Daniel, about
Aye.
what I think about the job that he's doing. But he's just turned 74. Is it realistic to say, Martin, come on, sign up for another 2 years? I'm with Mick. Give the guy a break. Enjoy him for what he's doing just now and for however long he's here, because it has been this incredible fairy tale story. But come on, let's get serious. If Celtic want to do something about really kind of blue sky thinking, if you like, or a fundamental contemporary change to the way the club's working, then they need to find themselves a manager for the longer term.